here we are. We're replacing this with an append of response.note. Essentially, that entire note is going to be appended here. When first still checking on the create method, the type of create. So let's look at the notes. We created a partial. Whoops. We created a partial called note.php in our view page, and it has all the content with IDs expected. I mean, for parameters expected. So let's go to the notes controller, and before. So the create method is no longer doing this, right? It's going to pass the create, and this is going to be note, and the note, I wonder if we can do this. Can a note be the entire partial? Let's find out. So how do we load stuff? This
Can you store that into a variable?
load.
Because the load command itself echoes stuff. So
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is you have to create a separate post to receive the HTML type response, not JSON.
Otherwise, you need another post.
Right.
Ajax post. PHP CodeIgniter, and we wanted to store partial in a variable, essentially, right?
Right.
Best way to structure partials. Whoops. Best way to structure partials views stack. Partials views with local variable scope and CodeIgniter. CodeIgniter passes data to nest views. Template parser.
I think this is create your own templates.
But can you store the template into a variable? Oh yeah.
Why can't you just load?
Oh, look at this. String. String is the parse data of this plus the data. We're trying it.
Load a partial right from your view.
Mm-hmm. But the load command itself echoes. So if you're going to echo JSON, right? If you echo something else before the JSON encode, then it's going to interfere with your JSON response. You can only echo back one response.
Here's where I'm getting messed up. We already received our response. We're within our function where we already received our response, and then I'm loading a view. So how can it interfere because I've already got my response back.
But the response itself has to include the snippet. You can't receive your Ajax response, right? And then from your Ajax can't load CodeIgniter views unless you're explicitly telling to load an HTML. But we're supposed to protect against that, right? With the base path stuff, you're not supposed to allow that.
Okay, so I'm trying to do something that might work, but we're not supposed to, basically.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hacky too because I think with parcels you're supposed to receive type. You can do JSON or HTML, right?
Yeah.
So with parcels, I think you're supposed to use the HTML format.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not super deep into this stuff, but I feel like if we could even, that's a little bit hacky.
So where does the block template get saved? A view file, block template. So this is going to be called note. And the data we're going to pass into it will be data is equal to an array of associative array, of ID, which is equal to, what is the ID? Where do we get the ID from? Oh, there it is, yeah.
And then also the title is all you need.
It's going to work. This is going to work. And then this all data passes here. So into the note, we have ID and title. And we're going to var dump the notes. That's what we're going to do. And this is for the add. You know what it is?
You have return false in jQuery. So it's not going to show you that all.
Right. Create. Oh, I think that's going to work. Yeah. So something to kind of keep in mind, guys, and I guess this video is recording, which is good. All of the Ajax calls, the way you troubleshoot Ajax calls is always on the network tab. This is my request. I can identify that's correct. This is the response. The response is either going to be an object, in this case two objects, an object of two key value pairs, or it's going to be a response of an error. So when you essentially turn on Ajax, as they say, or as I've heard people say, all your errors are going to come through here. You'll never see them here because that page never redirects. So again, all the errors come through this. So I think this is going to work. So var dump, this is going to redirect back to the index, and this is going to be appending the note. That's it, right? Uh-oh.
Oh, you didn't pass it back, actually. In your controller.
Oh yeah, I never added it. What?
What was that command you used?
Parse.
We just
Parse.
broke ground there, Lance. You're not here to see it, but that's okay.
We just put a man on the
Yeah.
parse.
Okay, so that is working, right? So just to recap real quick, it's all the same things except for the fact that we're just putting the data that we need into the partial in an associative array and pass it to data. The partial was made with all the HTML, and I think it's important that we have all single quotes because double quotes is what surrounds the entire thing to identify that this starts and ends a string.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a big part of it too. And this whole thing now, the parser, we added the library of parser in first. The note is the name of the view page, the file in the view folder, but we called it note, or it could have been partial/note, which is looking at the partial folder at that point, which actually that should be where it's at. So views is going to have a folder called partials, and the partials folder is going to have this partials new file, node.php. There it is. And then, wow, that's so hard to see up there. We're going to delete that note. We have this note. Save it, refresh it. Uh-oh.
Broke it. Did you refresh this page?
Oh, so the URL here, do we need a slash in front of that?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh, partials with an S. Sorry, false alarm. There it is. There it is, cool. So it's looking at the partials folder, note file, note view page. It's pushing the data, which is the associative array. And what the heck is true? I don't know, but I just took for granted that we needed.
It turns it into a string without echoing.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It says it right there.
Where did I skip it?
We'll go back to where you have it. If you do want the data returned instead of sent to the output class, you can pass true to the third parameter.
Oh.
Automatically pass the output class to the sent to ground state. If you want data returned instead of, what does that mean?
All right, let me stop this video.